Castlemilk History Group came into being in 1990, when several groups in the community working on different aspects of local history got together to mount a history exhibition. The history of the local area from Neolithic times through the time of Mary Queen of Scots and the 18th and 19th centuries up to modern times and the Big Flit to Castlemilk in the 1950s. The three main aims emerged from the history group in the ensuing year: to work to discover and preserve and restore to Castlemilk its lost or hidden history, to campaign for a local history museum in which to house Castlemilk's history, to hold an archaeological dig on the site of the ruins of Castlemilk House and the earlier medieval castle. The group has worked hard to further all these aims in the past year, and in September we saw a fulfilment of the third aim when Glasgow District Council agreed to fund the archaeological dig, which we've recorded on this video.
Much of Castlemilk's history and heritage is linked with the family of the Stirling Stuarts of Castlemilk, a branch of the Royal House of Stuart. The fortunes of the Castlemilk Stuarts have been interwoven with Scottish history. The family history of the Stuarts of Castlemilk can be traced back to the High Steward of Scotland, who married the daughter of Robert the Bruce. The family had a castle in Dumfriesshire by the banks of the River Milk. The 14th century, however, found the Stuarts settling in the parish of Kilmarnock, in the estate of Castleton, which they renamed Castlemilk. Civil war brought Mary Queen of Scots to Castlemilk. Legend has it that the Queen slept in Castlemilk House on the eve of the Battle of Langside. The Queen's enemy fired and partly destroyed Castlemilk House in retaliation. Castlemilk House belonged to the Stuart family for nearly 600 years. From the top of the tower of Castlemilk House, you would at one time have seen a beautiful scenic view all around. You would have been able to smell the mixed scents of the flowers from nearby gardens and the beech and fir trees. An ancestor of Helen of Kilbride, William Stirling of Keir, Captain 1st King's Dragoon Guards, fought against Napoleon at Waterloo. His horse lies buried beneath a yew tree in the garden. Helen of Kilbride's father, the Laird of Castlemilk, was said to be an eccentric. He always dressed in a very flamboyant manner, wearing rather loud tweed checks. From his breast pocket, there always hung a large brilliant red handkerchief.
Helen of Kilbride's mother, Mrs. Stirling Stuart, died in February 1916. At the time of her funeral, the school children of Kilmarnock were ordered that they should file round her open grave. Terrified they'd all fall into the large hole, which was lined with a mass of snowdrops, they walked slowly past to show their last respects.
In 1912, when the Laird's eldest son James turned 21, a huge picnic was held in the grounds of Castlemilk House. Guests to this celebration included the estate tenants and their families. Tea for the old folk was served in a marquee, and in the evening bonfires were lit on Cathkin Braes. James was later killed at Flanders in 1914. Very little is known about his brother Douglas, who moved to England after marrying in 1920 and had 3 daughters. The Stirling Stuarts of Castlemilk claimed to be of royal blood, and Helen, Madam Stuart Stevenson, maintained that if she had had her rights, she would have been Queen of Scotland.